What is going on, football fans? This is Skull MN14 bringing you my Week 8 picks for the 2016 season. Last week I did pretty well. I had an 11-3 record, losing only the Vikings-Eagles game, the Ravens-Jets, and the Falcons-Chargers. I also had the Cardinals over the Seahawks, but obviously they had a 6-6 tie, so that one I'm not even going to count. That brings me up to a 70-36 record on the year. That's a 66%, and I'm pretty pleased with that, so hopefully I continue that again. But going into this week, first game of the week, we got Jacksonville at Tennessee. Jacksonville and Tennessee, you never know, they could actually come out and make some noise in this division. Houston is not a very good football team, and they're in the lead right now. They had a terrible game against Denver last week, so this game could have a very big impact on the division, and I see Tennessee taking it. Possibly late in the game. 23-20 is my pick in this one, with the Titans over the Jaguars. Going then to the Sunday games, I've got the Cardinals playing against the Panthers in Carolina. Carolina's coming off their bye week. I think they're actually going to make some noise here, but the Cardinals I think will make a little bit more, 34-27. So it'll be a great rematch of the NFC Championship game last year, but the Carolina Panthers are just not the same team, and their defense is not the same without Josh Norman. Arizona's playing pretty good football right now. Obviously, they didn't put many points up last week, but 34-27 I think is going to be the end score here. Kansas City at Indianapolis. This could be an interesting game, too, because it's a remake of the playoff game a couple of years ago. High scoring in that one. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring in this one. Andrew Luck's still a very good football player, and the Colts are playing at home, but Kansas City is playing very good football right now, and I think they take this one again. 24-20, I think, will be the final score. That brings us to Cleveland. Let's face it, Cleveland is 0-7. They're starting a rookie quarterback again, and the Jets are coming off a very good win against the Baltimore Ravens. That being said, I think Cleveland actually gets the upset victory. They get their first win of the season, and they go to 1-7. 23-21 will be the final score in Cleveland. That's one of my upsets this week. Moving on to Houston then. Detroit is coming off a great win against Washington. Houston struggled big time against the Broncos. But the Lions' defense is not the Broncos' defense, and Brock Osweiler, as much as people are calling for his head right now in Houston, I think he actually has a good game, throwing for a couple touchdowns. Lamar Miller will throw in a touchdown as well. 30-27, I have the Texans over the Lions in Houston. Moving on to Buffalo, New England at Buffalo. New England is not the same team with Tom Brady in the mix. Last time they faced the Bills, Jacoby Brissett was the quarterback. Obviously, this is not the case this time. Rex Ryan, I'm still not sold as the best coach for the Buffalo Bills. I think he might be gone at the end of the season. They do not make the playoffs, in my opinion, and New England makes another statement here, 27-21, victory over the Bills. Bills continue to struggle after losing to the Dolphins last week. Moving on to Cincinnati, we got Washington at the Bengals. I don't see the Redskins as good in this game as they were against Detroit. Granted, they should have beaten Detroit. They ended up giving Matt Stafford one final try, and obviously he took advantage. But Andy Dalton and AJ Green, they're still too tough to pick against in most games. I see these two as very evenly matched teams, but Cincinnati, being at home, I think gets the win here, 24-23, possibly on a very last-minute field goal. Seahawks at Saints. I was very tempted to pick New Orleans in this game. I did not think that Seattle would have as good of a year this year, though. I have the Seahawks winning again, 27-23 at the Superdome. I get that the Saints are not a very good football team, though they do play very well at home usually, but I don't think they're quite good enough to beat the Seahawks here. Next up, we got Oakland at Tampa Bay. This time there wasn't really much temptation to pick the upset team. I see Oakland winning this one in a blowout, 37-23. Tampa Bay played a pretty good game last week against San Francisco, but still made a lot of mistakes. Oakland's going to capitalize on those mistakes a lot better than San Francisco will. Derek Carr, I think, is going to shred this Tampa Bay defense, despite being on the road. Green Bay at Atlanta. This is going to be one of my favorite games to watch this week, along with the Sunday night game, which I'll talk about later. Aaron Rodgers is still not playing that great. Matt Ryan and Julio Jones are playing pretty well, but have struggled to finish off games. This time I think they actually do finish it off at home. 34-31 Atlanta over Green Bay. Whoever is the home team here, I think, would win. If this was played at Lambeau, I think the Packers would take it. But given that it's played in Atlanta, I think the Falcons will take this one at the very end, likely on a Matt Bryant last-second field goal. Last afternoon game, Chargers at the Broncos. This will be a revenge game for the Broncos, given that they lost to the Chargers just a couple weeks ago. Denver's coming off a very good game against Houston. San Diego playing not great in the first half against Atlanta, but actually coming out with a very unpredictable victory, given how well Atlanta had been playing. But I don't see them taking down Denver 2 straight games. I think the Broncos take care of business here, 20-13, with Denver's defense holding Phillip Rivers to very low yardage. Eagles at Cowboys. Again, this will be the Sunday night game. I think this will be a very good game to watch with 4-2 versus 5-1. Philadelphia's defense just played a great game against the Vikings. Cowboys are coming off their bye weeks, so they'll be well rested. Whoever wins this game ultimately, I think, will win the NFC East. I think the Cowboys do that here, 24-17. I actually had the Giants picking the NFC East at the beginning of the season. I didn't see many people predicting that Dak Prescott would play as well as he did. I'm predicting the Cowboys to win it now, and showing that here with the statement win against Philadelphia, who I'm not sold on quite yet. Philadelphia still has a chance to prove themselves if they drop to 4-3, but I still think the Cowboys are the better team, and playing at home, they'll win by a touchdown here. Moving on to the Monday night game, Halloween night at Soldier Field. Vikings are reeling from that Philadelphia loss, but knowing Mike Zimmer, he's a very tough coach. He will get the guys back in shape. Chicago's still, they've only got one win on the year. There's some talk about Alshon Jeffrey getting traded to other teams. Jay Cutler is back, but it's not going to be enough against this Vikings defense. 23-12, I think, will be the final score here. And Chicago just hasn't shown me enough, despite playing at home. And Soldier Field is a very tough place to play. But they haven't shown me enough to show that they can beat the division-leading Vikings right now. So I have the Vikings advancing to 6-1 with a Monday night victory. That's my Week 8 picks. Hopefully you liked them. If you have any complaints, concerns, or likes, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, enjoy watching the NFL this week, and I'll see you guys later.